Has anybody ever heard of the word tyranny? Tyranny. Tyranny is a cruel and oppressive government rule. That's what tyranny is. All right, think about this for a second. What do you mean? This is something definitely standing to be reported on, because what does it do? It allows me to give you more information, which I know that 90% of you are going to ignore anyway, because you're really truly not listening. But nevertheless, for the few percent that will listen, that's the reason why I'm here reporting. Check this out. Listen to this. U.S. couple lose child's custody over chemo refusal. Now, before I go into this, I want y'all to comprehend something to understand. I live in an area of the country where there's an extraordinary amount of people who are called Amish and Mennonite. And whatever happened a long, long time ago, their elders went to some government official and got some type of exemption. Probably just like the LGBT, A, B, C, D, Q, E, F, G, or whatever you call it. They probably went to the UN and got a charter. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, this alternative lifestyle is being crammed down our throats. It's in the news media. And the thing that used to be at one time considered to be a mental illness and a sickness is now acceptable in this world. Well, I said all that to say this. Because the Amish and the Mennonite, they don't have to deal with stuff like this because they do not contract with the government. You have to understand. With Hillary Clinton and all they're talking about, it's about the children, faith-based children. They want your children because your children is the next generation, even if they have to use your children to kill your children. You follow me? And, you know, when you talk about coming and taking a married couple's child, do you know what type of challenges it presents right in here and up in here, and what that makes you want to do to people whenever you have this kind of stuff going on? Listen to this. Taylor Bland Ball and Joshua McAdams' son was diagnosed with cancer in April. A cancer-stricken 4-year-old boy in Florida has been ordered to live with his grandmother after his parents prevented him from having chemotherapy. In other words, watch this. You always have somebody that's in your natural family that will comply with the government, no matter how oppressive it is with you, because there's sometimes these people, they just don't agree with your religious convictions. They don't agree with the way that you do things. They don't agree with it because you're not doing it like them. You're not allowing them to live their lives through your lives and stuff. So therefore, they're going to side with anyone and make you the villain and the enemy. That's natural family too. It's amazing how that we all unconditionally love our natural family, even if, now that's not me. That's not me. Because myself personally, I've done nothing to none of my natural family members. And yet they hate me. They despise me for what I stand for. Love me when I was in the military and doing all this other stuff. As soon as I had a come to Jesus moment and started obeying him, ooh, gee. But anyway, what happens here is, check this out. Now, let me see. You got a family member here that is willing to comply in the heart-wrenching task of having your child taken away from you and given to somebody else that is a government agent, i.e. your family, to try to force you to comply. And if you don't force to comply, they're going to take the child anyway. Now watch this. I've asked people over and over and over again, okay, why is it okay for children to die in hospitals? Why is it okay for doctors to make a slip up, cut your artery and kill you, and they're protected by the laws of this land? Why is it okay for them to fry your child through chemo and radiation? I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is, I guarantee, before I get any further in this article right here, I guarantee you, and mind you, I just opened this up, but I guarantee you that the whole purpose and problem here has got something to do with Big Pharma. I guarantee you that this family right here chose to probably go an alternative lifestyle because they saw that the chemotherapy was not working. And y'all forbid. You know, there's this guy named Hippocrates. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be the greatest guru doctor that there ever was. I always ask doctors and ask people this question. I say, did he use chemicals or did he use natural herbs? How you do that cricket thing? Yeah, that's what he used to treat people. Today, they want you chemically induced, mouth drooling, 1,000-yard stare, your eyes get bigger than mine, and you do that because you're full of demons. And they want a bunch of mindless minions. But listen to this. A cancer-stricken 4-year-old boy in Florida has been ordered to live with his grandmother after his parents prevented him from having chemotherapy. Notice, his parents. Is it not their child? Is it not their choice? Now we go back and we have to digress into something else. You see, the whole purpose of that marriage license is there's terms and conditions of that contract that's not ever been disclosed to you. And you end up signing over your rights. You sign over your liberties when you contract with them, when you contract with the beast. So you go out and you get your marriage license, and then the woman, they don't care about the man, but the woman signs the birth certificate. It's all that they need because it's easy to deal with her through fear. And so they try to isolate the man in the hospital to get the woman to sign the birth certificate, and that's all they got. And you got the rest of the dumb, mindless minion people who are there working for the government, receiving the paycheck, not even realizing what's being done to them because they just as dumb, stupid, ignorant, and what about these dumb, dormant, docile, demoralized and demonized? All of that above too. And so you got people think that they're operating from an intelligent source, from an intelligent mindset. Why? And you ought to watch the spirit on them too. Why they care nothing that they're ripping a child away from their parents. The custody ruling on Monday against parents, Tyler Mann and Joshua McAdams. First, who has the right to rule against parents? I mean, so if you take this child and let them get chemotherapy and they get fried, the child gets fried and they died in the hospital, that's all okay, right? And everybody goes to the funeral, everybody cries. But if they die under your tutelage and care, because nobody can care for your child better than the father and the mother, but if they die under your tutelage and care, you got all of these people that's so wickedly induced and indoctrinated with some type of foreign doctrines, foreign teaching, that if they die doing something natural, now your family hates you. They're going to disown you because you didn't follow what the government and the doctor said. Why is it that it's okay for them to die in doctor's care, but it's not okay for them to die in your care? Can somebody answer that to me? And why is it not called murder when they die at the hands of the physician, but if the child dies and you having faith, all of a sudden it's called murder? You're irresponsible. What the hell is going on here? You know, I really truly think that I am one of the last few pastors for Israel, preachers and teachers that is left on this earth. I'm beginning to see that. I'm beginning to see it more and more and more as the days go by. I think I am one of the last few remaining true Israelite pastors that there is on the face of this planet Earth, because truth is perishing in the land. Let me just go ahead. I can't help but to, anyway, I'm going to go on. The custody ruling on Monday against the parents Tyler Mann and Joshua McAdams came after their bid for alternative treatment garnered national attention. The boy was taken from his parents in April after they skipped chemotherapy and left the state. Oh, so now, let me see, are they a fugitive from justice now because they wanted to take their child and continue, to keep their child from getting legally fried? The parents are obviously devastated. Their lawyer told U.S. media. Brooke Evelington, now mind you, the lawyer is also a ward of the state. The lawyer works for the state, works for the same court system. But anyway, let's go on. Brooke Evelyn also said that the boy was going through an absolutely traumatic medical experience, and he is doing so without his parents. After the boy, who the BBC is not naming, was diagnosed with an acute lymphoblastic leukemia in April, his parents opted to treat him using cannabis, oxygen therapy, herbs, and alkaline water. You know why? Because what if this child ends up getting healed, going the way that the mother and father, the naturopath, wanted to? We can't have that, because to do that, guess what? We can't have, we that's going to be a hit against the medical for field. And you know how they got gag orders on us saying that you can't take this, because if you say that this prevents, heals, and cures cancer and stuff, that's illegal. And we have to throw you in jail for saying stuff like that. And what the hell is going on? Am I the only one that's thinking like this? Am I the only one that's thinking like this? See, Big Pharma can't have you being healed outside of the scope of their chemicals, their radiation. They're frying, because after all, they really don't really truly heal anything. And it will get into, Lord, watch this, the back pockets of Big Pharma. Not only that, did you all know every single election year, you always have health care up to debate? Did you know that the United States of America is the only free world country, the greatest superpower since Rome? We are. The United States of America. We're leading the whole free world. You know that we're the only country that has that type of power, but yet and still we rape our people and don't give them free health care? Don't give me this bull crap about socialized health care and all this other stuff. When I was in the military, health care was socialized. When you're in the post office, it's socialized. When you're on the police department and fire department, that's socialized medicine. When you're in the Congress and Senate, you get the best socialized medicine that there is. But you, the people, we're going to stick it to you. And then they sit there and try to deceive you. You get to pick your doctor and all this other stuff. Man, it's a bunch of bull crap. Even I know people that go to Mexico and get better treatment in Mexico. They jump across border than they do here in the United States of America. It is something amazing. It's off the chain what goes on here in this country. It literally is. It's a shame what goes on. Medical cannabis is legal in Florida. In May, they lost custody after they skipped the chemotherapy session and refused to follow up with life-saving medical care. Life-saving medical care, according to the police. Can they guarantee that chemotherapy is life-saving medical care? I mean, listen how they're wording this article. They were found in Kentucky after a multi-state hunt. You mean to tell me we spend all the taxpayers' dollar on one family out of 7.5 billion people in the world, out of 380 million people in the United States of America, we spent taxpayers' dollar combing heaven and earth. Now, mind you, they can't find the killer of your husband or your cousin that killed your child some time ago, but they sure can't find this one. The boy was ordered to live with his grandmother and receive standard medical treatment. Isn't that amazing that these people had to turn around and leave Florida as if they are a fugitive from justice? See, there's something already in us that lets us know that something is greatly wrong in this world, but ain't nobody doing a damn thing about it. On Monday, Hillsborough County Circuit Court Judge Thomas Pateron said that the child would face substantial risk of imminent neglect. What the? If he were returned to his parent, what? That's a judge? Keeping the boy in custody with his maternal grandmother was the only way. See, you mean that his maternal grandmother that is an agent for the state. It's the only way to ensure his health, safety, and well-being, NBC News reported. Chemotherapy is often associated with debilitating side effects, but many types of modern chemotherapy cause only mild problems. Here we go again. According to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, about 98% of the children with acute lymphoblastic leukemia go into remission within weeks of beginning treatment, and about 9% of the patients are eventually cured. I want to see facts on that. Why is it that they're trying their best to cram down our throats to make us trust conventional medicine? I know that some of you got faith all the way up until it applies to you. You got faith until it applies. You got all kind of faith when it applies to somebody else, but you don't have faith when it applies to you. And then all of a sudden, conventional medicine is what you run to for your faith. The lawyer for Ms. Bland and Mr. Adams said that the couple is considering filing an appeal. You ain't gonna do. All you're doing is wasting money. You're fighting against the beast, the revived Roman Empire. You're fighting against the beast system. He belongs at home with his parents. She said, I agree with that too, 1,000%. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that. And by the way, why is both of their last names different if they are married? Or are they married? Or are they common law marriage? Or they're not married, but the woman chose to contract with the state by signing the birth certificate, which gave the state legal right to come in. Because remember, anytime you contract with them, you're babysitting your child, but they're not your child. And the state is going to do everything it can to make sure it takes care of its children. Because after all, remember, they want your children. I know that Pastor Dowell sounds, I believe you me, I know how I sound in the midst of this wicked and perverse generation. I sound like someone like that's growing a third arm at the side of my neck. Believe me, I get it. I know how I sound to a bunch of uninformed, illiterate, stupid, government trusting people. I get it. I get it. I get it. I was once myself dumb on purpose. I was once myself blind, but now I can see. Red pill.